What's up, everybody? Welcome to my album reviews for this week of February 18th. As usual, I'm here to discuss my opinions on some wonderful new releases. But if you are interested in discovering more new music on the regular, head over to dustyorgan.com. I'm posting there every single day. There is tons of new music to discover. And don't forget to follow me on all my socials. You can find those in the description. And if you'd like to support the website and the channel, head over to my Patreon, patreon.com/dustyorgan. And for only $4 a month, you get access to a wonderful handful of resources, including an album schedule, concert photography, behind the scenes stuff. There's just so many goodies going on, and it's only $4 a month. That's less than a coffee for the entire month. And if you want to support the blog in a little easier fashion, just subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be posting here every week. So far, so good. And there might be more videos coming soon. Let me know if you have any ideas or suggestions that I should be covering as well. So without further ado, let's get into this week's reviews. UK indie act Metronomy have come a very long way since their 2006 album, Pip Pain, Pay the £5,000 You Owe. In fact, if you were to just fast forward 15 years and only have listened to that album and now their seventh album, Small World, the two are almost unrecognizable. Metronomy frontman Joseph Mount has always had his hands and sound dipped heavily in electronic music. That's kind of where he got his start. But on this new album, Small World, it feels like it's just being pushed to the wayside. And they've made room for more lo-fi indie rock to be the more prominent genre in this album. And compared to the rest of their discography, Small World almost feels like a placeholder. It serves more of a purpose as just being a collection of songs that I think loyal fans will still enjoy because of the stripped back songwriting, and it feels like a closer, more intimate look into Joseph Mount's musical stylings. But on a more external scale, it just didn't feel like anything unique to Metronomy, and it didn't really bring anything new to the table. It just kind of feels like something they've just put out. So if you're looking for something a bit more upbeat and captivating from Metronomy, I think their 2019 album, Metronomy Forever, would be a much more enticing release. Or there are a couple singles on this album, Things Will Be Fine in particular, that do have a few bright moments to them. Overall, I felt like this was a record that I think only really loyal Metronomy fans are going to find anything worthwhile. More passive listeners like myself or people who are just discovering them for the first time, I think this is an album that isn't really quite worth much of your attention. So I'm going to give Small World a 6 out of 10. Having established themselves as a very monumental name in the indie genre, UK trio White Lies are now back with their 6th album, As I Try Not to Fall Apart. I'll admit I haven't really spent that much time with some of their previous releases other than 2010's Ritual, which was a very defining album for my high school years. Personally, I just felt like their style didn't really align with my taste. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed this album. I thought it was a very approachable, cohesive, and at most times actually quite groovy release. The guitars, keys, and bass carry the weight of the record, while the iconic vocals of frontman Harry McFay just tower over with his booming baritone. I think one of the more dominating features of this album is the band's ability to just hide these really heavy topics within melodic hooks and larger-than-life production. The entire album deals with topics of mortality and life and death, and even just the concept of future life itself on a very overt scale. But at the same time, it almost feels impossible because the hooks are just so catchy and you almost find yourself dancing along to some of these tracks. And even outside of those melodic, groovy moments on the record, some of the darker tracks are kind of given this playground of prog rock to mess around with. And on top of their very UK new wave style, guitars and anthemic production help push the concept of life and death into a more cinematic and grandiose direction. Overall, I felt that As I Try Not to Fall Apart is some of White Lies' best work to date, and I felt that they had found such a wonderful balance between ambition, realism, and melodic appeal on this record. And because of that, I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Normally, I don't include EPs in my review roundups. Not that I have anything against them, I just feel like they're more stepping stones or placeholders before something bigger and more attention-grabbing is on the way. But this week, I'm going to be making an exception. If you're a fan of Charlotte Cardin, Yebba, or any similar artists, you have absolutely no excuse to not be basking in the wonderful glow that is Katie Tupper. The Saskatoon-born neo-soul artist has just put out her debut EP, Towards the End, and the 5-track project just does not miss. Across the record, she possesses this glowing elegance that shines through her vocals and her lyricism, as she moves through topics of relationships and romance with a very alluring intimacy. Having heard a few of her singles over the last year or so, I've just been falling more and more in love with her voice and her elegance, and I feel like people are going to love the warmth and vulnerability on this record. So I'm not going to give this one a score because it is an EP, but I just wanted to put this on everyone's radar. Go check out Katie Tupper, Towards the End. It is a fantastic debut release. So I wasn't able to get through everything that I wanted to this week. There are a few more albums that I do want to put on your radar, including Beach House's new album, Once Twice Melody. It is a towering 90-something minute album across 4 discs. You have to go check it out. Take your time with this one. As well, Crystal Castle's former member Alice Glass, she just put out her commanding solo debut, pray for. It's a very intense hyperpop album that she has put her heart and soul into as she goes through some of her traumatic experiences with her former band, Crystal Castles. It is certainly a piece of art, so go check that out as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you discovered something great this week. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what you disagreed, any suggestions, ideas. Just let me know. Just talk to me down there. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. All the support helps. It goes a long way. And more so, if you want to check out my Patreon or my store, those are all in the description. I would greatly appreciate it, even if you just peeked over there. Like I said, it's only $4 a month and you have access to a wonderful collection of resources. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week.